The weekend is over, it is Monday, and that means it's back to work, but it also means it's time for Hello Dave and time to take a look at what's been going on in Elite and in Star Citizen. And as always, we're gonna start this week with some news from Elite. It's been a bit thin this week, but we do have an update on the new experimental weapon stabilizers that I talked about last week. Last week I theorized and I speculated about the whole wording that they will call the medium-large size, whether these were actually going to take up weapon slots rather than internal slots, which makes more sense. This has now been clarified as they are currently the reward for a community goal. If this community goal is successful, these weapons will be made available in the near future. More about the dates here in a minute. The way they're going to work is they are going to be internals. This medium-sized one is going to be a size 3 optional internals, and the larger one is going to be a size 5. Fitting one of these modules will allow you to have either 1 or 2 additional anti-Xeno weapons on your ship. Currently in the game we are capped at only 4 weapons, and with a size 3 experimental weapon stabilizer you're going to be able to fit 5, and with a size 5 you're going to be able to fit 6 weapons. Now, how many you're going to be able to fit of these is not certain. I'm gonna guess you're only going to be able to fit 1. So you're not just going to be able to stack these up and get as many weapons on as you can. I'm expecting these is going to work in the same manner as the Guardian FSD boosters. All of these other modules that we have that you are limited to only fitting 1. I think this is going to be the same situation here. Now, if the community goal is successful, we're going to get access to the Class 3 variant already on the 26th of January. This is this week. It's actually on Thursday this week, yeah. And these are going to be available from all the rescue mega ships that's going to be placed all around. You can see them on the galaxy map. And the Class 5 is going to come 1 week later on the 2nd of February. So there's going to be some interesting rebuilds. I'm already beginning to think about what kind of builds I want to do, how I want to change it. Because I have a few ideas for a build I think could be fun to try. Not sure if it's going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway. But we'll see more about that later. I'm probably going to do some live streams trying to start testing stuff out, stuff like that, just to see, play around with it a bit. But at least nice to get that clarification. And as also said last week, I think it makes a lot more sense keeping these as optional internals. So, and Class 3-5 seems relatively balanced, as there will be sacrificing a relatively high slot on a medium ship. For a larger size ship, it's not going to be that big of a sacrifice. And I think this is going to be the change that's going to make the Type 10 a very, very interesting ship. Because all of a sudden you have all these hard points that you can't really use properly on the Type 10, and they're suddenly gonna begin to actually get a purpose, especially now that we have all these gimbaled variants of the multi-cannon. Maybe doing a multi-cannon, anti-aUEC multi-cannon Type 10 with just 6 of them and everywhere and things. I don't know. I'm gonna play around with it, do some experiments, and we'll see what I come up with. Now, Star Citizen has been very, very busy this week. There's a lot of new information. First of all, update 3.17.5 is live, and with that we have the Lunar New Year event, as we have every year at this time of year. This is the event where red envelopes has been hidden all over the Stanton systems at the major landing zones. You can go, you can find these hidden envelopes, collect them, and you can sell them at the admin office for 500 Alpha USC each. Hawks Gaming actually did a video showcasing how you can make a very, very respectable amount of money using this. I think he managed to collect like 100 of them in half an hour, which again adds up. If you can repeat that, you can pretty much make like 100,000 Alpha USC collecting these envelopes an hour. Go find this video if you haven't watched it yet, especially showcasing how you can do that. But also, here in update 3.17.5, we have the Siege of Origin coming back, where we have this first-person PPU shooty event going on with all the platforms out at Origin. So if you are interested in that event is now active. You can go give it a go, try it out. If you want to try some on-foot PPU with against some NPCs. Over on the 3.18 PTU side, there's also been some changes there that's worth noting. I talked about a couple of weeks ago how they were going to make some changes to mainly ballistic weapons that were going to basically completely penetrate through shields. And since armor isn't really implemented into the game yet, that meant that it looked like that ballistic weapons were going to be quite overpowered. as most ships would basically have no defense against them. As I said, armor's not working, and they're going to almost completely penetrate through shields. And in order to alleviate that, in order to make it a little bit more balanced, CIG has added a temporary change to the game where armor is now giving a 50% physical resistance. That means if your ship has any noticeable amount of armor, you're going to get a 50% resistance to ballistic weapons, thereby balancing out the penetrating through shields, making them a little bit more balanced in at least for now. As I said, this is a temporary change as they are planning a proper implementation of armor that's gonna come later on down the road. Haven't gone around to that yet, but when the armor implementation comes, then of course this whole thing is going to change again. So this is a temporary thing just to make things balanced, so you don't have PvPers running around with ballistic weapons and you have no way of defending yourself against stuff like that, just to balance things out a little bit. So nice to see that they're trying to make that work, at least here in the short term. Also in Star Citizen, some updates on the Hull C, one of these new big cargo ships that's going to be added into the game. We don't have a specific date yet when they're going to add it, but they have said middle of the year. So assuming that we're going to see 318 maybe be here in the spring, I'll probably expect that the next larger update after 318 is going to include the Hull C, which is going to be a behemoth of a cargo ship. It's going to be able to carry 4,608 SCU of cargo. This is going to dwarf anything we have seen in the game yet. This thing is going to be, at least cargo-wise, I'm not sure how big the physical size the ship actually is, but it's going to be a big boy. I'll promise you that when we get it, I know it's going to be like half a year from now, but I'm looking forward to taking a look at that ship, and I'll of course be sure to make a full ship tour so we can go and take a look at it, and probably also a full-on ship review where we're going to talk about all the stats and like go into the more nitty-gritty stuff. But that's down the line, like half a year when that comes out. But that should be exciting for all you cargo space truckers out there, getting some really big wheels to move stuff around with. So finally, for the live streams tomorrow, I am going to be streaming some Star Citizen. My plan was either do one or maybe even both, we'll see. Jump in on the PTU and then head over to Orison, play around with the buggy racetrack over there. Thought it could be fun. Go and take a look at it, see what it's all about. Drive around. Who knows? Maybe some of you guys are going to show up as well. We're going to have a race. I don't know. It could be fun, I think. Again, it is the PTU server. I know we're still only wave 1 and not everybody has access and stuff like that. So it's going to be limited how many people are actually going to be able to attend. And again, it is PTU, so you can't be unlucky that these test servers are, well, unstable due to a bad push or whatever. So if the test servers are a little unstable for it to be fun, then I might jump over on the live servers, and then my idea was to go maybe walk around and try to look for some of these envelopes, try to find some of those, and just have a bit of fun, walk around and take a look at the game, see if we can find some of these envelopes. I've done a bit of it already in Area 18, but I kind of want to try to do it in Orison, if we can find some there. Microtech maybe. I don't know if they even have them in Orison. I know they have them in Area 18. Probably Lowell Microtech too, but I hope they will find some in Orison too. I don't know. But that's kind of the backup plan, to go out and look for envelopes if everything else fails. So, as always, that will be tomorrow. It will be at 8 o'clock GMT, both here on YouTube and on Twitch. Now, talking about Twitch, there are some Twitch drops running, not for Star Citizen, but for Elite. And obviously, since I will be streaming Star Citizens, those Twitch drops won't be active tomorrow. But don't worry, you still have a chance to get them. If you haven't gotten the Elite Dangerous Twitch drops this month, what you can do is you can head over to Discord. It's at discord.d2a.com. And over there, if you go into the stream giveaway section, there you will find giveaways for these paint jobs for Elite. And you just go, you click the little celebration icon, and then at the end of the period, which I can totally remember, and I totally wrote that down before I started recording this as a good YouTuber would. In 9 days, so that is at the end of the month, that is on the 31st. It is the bot is going to draw 10 winners. I'm going to send some codes. You can redeem those. I'm going to send instructions and everything. And there's going to be some codes. You can win some paint jobs. So free paint jobs in Elite, found on Discord in the stream giveaway channel. Tomorrow is going to be Star Citizen, and therefore Elite Twitch drop won't be active. But yeah, that's been for this week. Thanks so much for watching, and also next time I will see you guys in space.